Welcome, ladies. Hello, everyone. How are you guys? I hope you guys are doing well and you had a great weekend. So, I know I had a good weekend and it was a little bit warm. So, it was better than what's been. And so, we are happy with that. And I hope you guys are doing fantastic. I see you are watching and liking and subscribing and even commenting. I am grateful. I am so grateful. Thank you guys so much. And I really do appreciate all of it. And so please like and subscribe if you like the content that I share here. That way I can continue to keep doing these videos and we can also get started today. So today we're going to be talking about when you have obesity or you're overweight, you sometimes lack portion control, right? We all kind of do, right? So we want to get that in check, though. We want to really start watching our portion sizes. So we're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be making some delicious carrot fritters for my dinner tonight. Part of my dinner tonight, we're going to have salmon and we're going to have some of these carrot fritters. And we're also going to be talking at the end of the video about the mini me course that is on my website. So it's on my website for sale. It's just a short course to help you get motivated to get started trying to watch your weight and to try to diet. It's for people who lack the motivation and who lack what to do, where to get started, where is a good starting point, where this is a good starting point because it comes with 5 videos from me, and each day has a video that you want to watch, and you do the work and stuff that's on there. It gives you some little tools to work with and some things to do to help you to discover more about yourself and to do better at weight loss, right? So we'll be talking a little bit more in depth about that in the latter part of this video. So today we're going to be talking first about the obesity portion control because it really plays a huge role in our food selection and what we put on our plate, what we pile our plates with, right? So we want to make sure that we are doing a better job at piling our plates. And one thing that I found out, and all of these are pretty much things that I go by, they are things that helped me lose the 40 pounds. And I'm sure you guys can all relate, and it could maybe be helpful to you to start getting in tune with yourself, start getting focused on what it is you're using to eat with and things like that. So here we go. So change out all of your dishes, set the large serving size dishes aside, and put out the smaller serving size dishes. We don't need those big, huge pots because when we were growing up, most of you, or many of you, I should say, are around my age. And many of us I grew up with a large family, and it's hard to get out of that. And then I had 2 boys that were big eaters, and it's hard to get out of the routine of making big, huge pots of stuff and big, huge amounts of stuff, of food, right? So we want to be able to break that. We want to be able to, when we start to use our uh, plates and our serving dishes and stuff like that, we want to start using smaller plates, plates and dishes and things that hold smaller amounts of food, right? So we want to get out of the habit of everything being sized up, right? We want to get out of that mind frame. We want to get out of trying to cook for everybody in the neighborhood, right? We want to get out of that. So one thing that you can do is to start looking at the plates and the bowls and the sizes, portion sizes that you're using, that you're eating, that you're feeding yourself with, right? So you want to use smaller size plates and not large size dinner plates at your meals. So we used to have the big dinner plates, and we'd fill it up and we'd eat everything on our plate like what we were taught, right, when we were kids. Wrong. It's okay to throw a little bit away, it's actually etiquette if you leave a little bit on your plate. Like when you go out to a nice fancy restaurant with a bunch of people, it's always nice and etiquette if you leave just a little portion on your plate. It just is, there's just something about it. I don't know. Because then other people are looking at your plate and like, oh, she didn't eat every single thing. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, but it is. Anyway, so you want to use smaller size plates. And so we switched out. We were eating on the big, large dinner plates, real plates, right? So we switched out. First, we switched out with buying because we're both so busy. We switched out using a paper plate, right? The big ones, the super size. And then we went from there. We went to these smaller. They're like a bowl. They're about 2 inches high, and they're like a little bowl. And we use those now, like for really nice meals, like not really nice. I don't want to say that because that's not like holiday dinnerware that we use. It's our everyday stuff. But when we actually cook, we use those. If we end up like buying out, or it's just a simple little meal or whatever, which a lot of our meals are very simple, we'll just use a paper plate, but we went to the smaller size. So we'll use those. So you want to switch it out. You want to find smaller size spoons and forks when feeding yourself. So I've done this, and I think it helps me. It makes me feel like I'm eating for a longer period of time because I like using those long teaspoons. They're long to fit down in the nice tall glass, and you stir it. But I have a really small mouth. Those work perfect for me. So I like those spoons because when I go to eat with a bigger spoon, I'm hitting the sides of my mouth, and it's like, So I like those, and that's what we use. That's what I use for my yogurt and stuff like that. Now, if I'm having a bowl of soup, we have these little bowls that we use, smaller bowl with a handle on it, and they're small. And that would be a regular 1 serving size soup bowl, not a soup bowl like, you're going to be honking out on it, right? You want to make sure that you are, using size portion right? So these are about that size, and they have a nice little handle on them for soup. And we use those for our soups when we make soup and to serve it, so we use those. And then the yogurt dishes, when I first started dieting and trying to get on track with everything, I was using just a regular size cereal bowl for my yogurt and stuff. And of course, you think you got to pile it all on, right? And so I was using that. And before I started to like kind of measure how much I'm having, right? So now I use these little square bowls, little kind of like a dessert bowl. They're probably about that big, I'd say, square glass. And now I use those. And I do think that if you use more glassware, you wash your dishes, you put them in the dishwasher, wash them by hand, whatever, it doesn't matter. But if you use glass dishes, I think it has something to do with like you living a good life, like you're not just living on paper plates, you're not living on styrofoam bowls and stuff like that. You're more etiquette than that, right? You're more worthy of that, right? So you want to make sure that you step up your plate, you feel good about what you're serving your food in has a huge impact on the way you're eating, the way you perceive it, right? It just is the whole thing tells a story, right? And you want to make sure that you are using glass dishes, and you are, or I mean, like, doesn't have to be glass, it could be stone, it could be just regular material, not the plastic stuff that you buy, the tumbler stuff, the plastic stuff. That's okay. Like if you're going to go out by a pool and you're going to take a nice tall drink out by the pool, or you're on the run or something like that, that's one thing. But when you sit down for a meal, you should really have it to where it impresses you, it like makes you feel good. Like you sit down and everything is just beautiful on your plate, and you feel good about eating that portion. You feel satisfied, right? You feel good about how it's presented to you, right? And the whole presentation can just like make you feel a certain way. It does me anyway. Just like when you go out to eat and people serve you food and whatever, and they bring the nice cloth napkin and they bring the dinnerware and all that, and it just is appealing, right? It's nice, and you deserve that. You all deserve that, So if you're eating just on the run and slopping around with just whatever, you know, take some focus on it. Take some time, take some focus, and see if you have some other things. I'm not saying for anybody to go out and buy brand new this and that and the other thing. I'm saying use what you have, of course. But if you can step it up a notch, and you can eat on real cookware, I would suggest doing that, because it just something about it makes you feel good about the meal. So moving on, use smaller size spoons, forks. Okay, I said that. So what I did is I used those smaller spoons for like my yogurt and things, but I use a regular soup spoon, the round soup spoon for soup, of course. And then just a regular fork, but a smaller fork sometimes I like to use. I'm not saying like what do I want to say? Not like the long forks, like a dinner fork, but I use sometimes the smaller one. It just, I don't know. There's something about it when you're just having a little snack or a little this or that. It just is, I don't know. It just makes me feel like I'm having less of, I'm taking smaller bites. I'm taking my time. That's one thing about eating. You want to take your time. Don't shovel the food in. Slow down and take your time when you eat. Enjoy it. Sit there and enjoy and chew and enjoy the flavors, right? Enjoy the flavors. And especially if you make it yourself, think about, is there something else you could have added, or is there something else that would have enhanced it, the dish? And things like that, just really take your time with your food. You'll do so much better. So, number two is start cooking at home and freezing foods. Meal prep and make individually sized servings to freeze. Now, we're talking about freezing, and that's really a good thing, because you can cook, large batches of things, on a weekend or during the week or whatever, but then put them in smaller serving size containers to freeze them. And then you can label them and pull them out when you need a meal. You'll have it prepared for you already. It is so, when you make big batches of things to freeze, it's so it saves so much time, and it's just really nice. I know there was a lot of days this winter where we were busy and just eating almost a little late, and sometimes, so I started pulling some soups out of the freezer. We can have that with a piece of toast and some avocado. Good, we're ready to go, or a piece of chicken breast or whatever, and we're ready, so it is really handy when you do have things to pull out. And it's nice to have things in your freezer for when you get company. If you get company, you can pull out some sugar-free cookie, or you can pull out some sugar-free something to give to people who come by or hang out or whatever. It's just a nice way to go about it. But freezing thing is really good. And another thing I want to say about freezing is, a lot of times when we go to the store to get like berries, especially berries are expensive. I think I bought some blackberries today. I think they were $4.29. Um, they're a little bit on the pricey side, and you really don't get that much, right? Especially raspberries. When you buy raspberries, you really don't, you get even less. And but they're a little bit expensive. So if you want to cut the cost of your berries, I would say start buying frozen berries, because frozen berries are really good, maybe even better, because frozen berries are straight from the vine, and they have to get those cleaned and washed immediately and get those into freezer bags, right? And they have to freeze it immediately so it stays fresh, and the the nutritional value stays in them, right? So they are really good and they're cheaper, and you could do that. You can start stocking up on especially blueberries. Blueberries are really great. Blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries, I would say. Strawberries are okay too, but the other berries are even better for you. So you want to start eating some of those and start stocking up in your freezer with those, because they're not sitting on a shelf somewhere, right? They're not just sitting there waiting for someone to buy. They're actually being held for you in a freezer that is, they're wrapped, they're encased, and they're probably a little bit better. They've probably already been washed before they were froze and dried a little bit. And some of the fruits that you get, some of the spray and some of the what do you call it, like that they spray the gardens and things with, some of the sprays may still be on some of those fresh fruits that you buy. So frozen fruits are really good, and I would encourage you to buy some of those and stock up if you need to, and you need to cut the cost, right? So then let's see, moving on is wrap individual size treats for the freezer. So I do a lot of that. You see me always doing a lot of baking. Yes, I like baked goods, but I don't leave it set out after I do these videos. I individually wrap it. I put it in the freezer, and I pull it out when I have company. I pull it out, and I'm constantly giving to my friends, and I take them things all the time, homemade different things. So I give a lot away, and but it's fun to make, and your friends really are happy with you. My friends are happy with me from doing that, but I do a lot of that, so it's not like sitting around here and I eat the whole batch or whatever, which I would love to, at times. Those kolaches were really good. I did a little bit too much filling in those kolaches because they kind of ran off a little bit off of the cookie sheet, but they were just simply delicious. I did have one, and then I put the rest in the freezer. So we could pull them out if we have someone over, or we could make a little box up for a friend and take them to someone we visit or whatever. So I like to have things in the freezer that I can pull out. And sometimes I pull out different things and make kind of little variety, little pack. I have fudge in there, and I have different little things, some little power balls, protein balls, and just different things, and take people's stuff. So I like that. And then use smaller size spoon. No, I'm down here. Okay. Use smaller size Tupperware to freeze individual size portions. So we talked about that too. So that's really great, where you can put your soups in individually sized containers, and then just pull out, like I'll pull out 2 little containers for me and my husband, each get a serving, and then we'll make a piece of toast and a little avocado, put some fresh microgreens on there. They are delicious. So the microgreens that I was growing were delicious. I'm going to do some more, but I haven't right now. I'm waiting for my strawberry to come up, and I'm waiting for the pine trees that I planted to come up. So I want them to have plenty of light and plenty of room to grow. And once those are gone, then I'll probably do another batch of microgreens. But you talk about delicious. They are just so satisfying. And you could put a few of those on a soup. You could put a few of those on a sandwich, anything, you can put them on, and it just throw them in a smoothie. You get all the nutrients, right? So it's really great. And then number 3 is taking and putting food on your plate at meals. So you want to make sure that if you are dieting, that you really do focus when it's time to make your plate and everything. You want to focus on what it is you're putting on your plate, right? When you go to make your meals. Excuse me one second. I have a little decaf coffee. My husband bought it for me yesterday, and it's like it was too much for one time. And it's like, so I just warmed the other half up. It's like so good. Tastes so good. Let's see. So you want to measure your food. So, most people don't measure their food. And that's where they get into trouble, because they're like, oh, I'm really hungry right now, so I'm going to have twice the serving. I am really hungry right now, so I'm going to have that. Or if they're emotional, they're like, I deserve this. I really deserve this, So you want to want to watch how you're talking to yourself, but you also want to start measuring out your food. Like really start watching like their serving size. What is the serving size? And start watching that and make sure that you are staying within the means of your serving size. Like today, for instance, I was speaking to a lady at the grocery store, and she was a worker there, and she is the one that orders a lot of the plant-based foods and a lot of the they have a lot of different kombuchas, drinks there. They have a lot of um, kefir there, the milk, with the good microorganisms or whatever in there. They have a lot of that, different flavors and stuff like that. So I was reading some of these labels as I was going along, and she came up to me. She goes, "Is there anything I can help you with? Like, like you wish we had, or you wish, that we would carry or whatever? Because I know you come here and shop a lot." And I said, for one thing, I'm really interested in some of this kombucha that you have, this drink, but all of them are like 30 some grams of sugar, 15 grams of sugar, 16 grams of sugar. And then you get to some of the ones that are with tea and stuff like that, and they were like, almost 30 grams of sugar, 26 grams of sugar. And I was like, I can't do that. I'm getting ready to make my own kombucha, but I am just wondering, can you get some that's like not so sugary, like really watch the label. And she said that she hasn't ran out across any because they just flavor them with a ton of sugar. And I know you have to put sugar in it to get it started, to get it to ferment, right? But I have to read up on all that yet, and to make sure that if I can do it a different way where I can really cut the sugar, that's going to be important to me because I can't have that much sugar. So a different way to sweeten it and it will still turn out, right? I don't want to waste all the stuff that I bought for it and not turn out. So I have to do my research on that yet, and I haven't. And but anyway, you want to just make sure that you are really reading your labels and all that, and you're measuring your food. And I also told the lady about they have a plant-based portion. They have a freezer or fridge, freezer, whatever, that's filled with all different kind of plant-based products. Like they have some milk at the bottom. That's where I find the kefir. And then they have different shelves that have like sour cream that's plant-based, and cream cheese and regular cheese, sliced cheese, and all these different products. And some of them seem like really good products, but a lot of them I've already tried and I'm allergic to them. So I asked her if she could find some other plant-based products to put in there that, that I could maybe have that doesn't have the seeds in it, like the soybean or the cottonseed, the sunflower seed. I can't have any of that. And a lot of plant-based foods all have that in it, or they at least have the sunflower litholin in there that I can't have. So there's a lot of those plant-based foods I can't have. So that's why when you see me making dishes, because it goes around my diet, and I'll use like, when I'm making a dish, I'll use like real cream cheese, because I can't have the cream cheese that's made with the sunflower in it. And you'll see me use some dairy products because I can't have the dairy products that are plant-based dairy products. So that's the reasoning behind some of the foods that you see me choose. Like you'll never see me use or choose like cabbage. You'll never see me use like peppers, any kind of peppers. Excuse me, because I can't have those. So there's wonderful benefits in peppers and in cabbage, and I wish I could have it. I would be living on cabbage and peppers, but I can't. And for right now anyway. And so yeah, so it just, you just want to watch. So let's get back to what we're talking about here. So count out snacks and chips and things, and don't just like take a bag to where you're sitting and watching TV and you're just eating out of the bag. That is the worst habit you could have. Don't do that. Take a bowl, put it in there, look at the label. What's the serving size? All the way at the top, serving size. It'll tell you. It'll tell you how many the bag will serve, how many people the bag will serve, how many people the bag is for, right? So then just go and take your portion. Now, what I do is I'll look at that portion just like I did with the kefir, still getting used to how to pronounce it, kefir milk. So the portion size was 1 cup on the milk that I bought today. And I'm trying to get my gut bacteria better and better and better. And so it was 110 calories, but it was still a little bit of sodium in there. So I'm trying to cut back on my sodium. So I only had a half of a cup. So 110 calories out of the half, it was 55 calories for me. So I had that with my meal today. And it tasted, it's a little tingy tangy, but when it got in my gut, I could just feel it, like I could kind of like feel it moving around in there, like doing its thing, like, oh, let's get this cleaned up. Let's get this fixed. Let's get some good microorganisms going in here. Let's get it really, healthy and stuff. So I could feel that. And you just want to watch your portion size, how much it is that says on the label that you should have. And what I do is when it says that amount, in order for me to get less sodium, I usually have to cut the serving for me because of my own health issues. I cut the serving in half. So we buy these, sometimes we'll buy these chips and we like to have them on the weekend. And they are third the salt or whatever, or half the salt, third the salt, something like that. And we'll buy those and I'll have to, count mine out, right? I'll have to count them out and only have half of the serving. If you really want to get filled up on something and you really are just like want to mile out on something, pop some air popcorn, pop some popcorn, have a bowl of popcorn. It will fill you up. It will get rid of that nervous energy that you have that you just want to eat and eat all the wrong crap. So do that. That is still a plant-based food, considered a plant-based food. So you could do that. Okay, moving right along here. Don't overfill your plate and your stomach. So we never want to, when we're trying to diet and we're trying to really get healthy, we never want to overfill our stomach. We never want to feel really full. Since I started my plant-based diet, I have not filled myself up to oh, I'm so full. I have not done that. And I try to eat sensibly. I try to watch every single thing, to just always something else new to watch, or something else to watch, or something else that we find out that is not good for us or whatever. And we have to change out, swap out. So you just kind of have to stay up on it a little bit, and you have to be willing to make the changes. There's so many women I talk to. They're like, I'm not giving up my Pepsi. I am not giving up my cookies. I am not giving up my, whatever it is, they just stuck on something. I just got done talking to somebody that's like, I have to have my Pepsi, I was like, you can't, you're going to become diabetic. You're drinking 2 to 3 cans of pop a day. It was on 4 cans of pop a day. And not only the sugar in there, but the sodium in there too. So then it has that much sodium to make you just feel blowed up, right? So if you reduce that sodium, you're going to lose all that water weight. Within the first week when you start dieting and watching this stuff, you're going to lose all this water weight and you're going to feel so much better. So anyway, we're moving on and we're talking about portion control. And one way to really break your portion control is to eat at a smorgasbord, right? To eat there where you can just pile your plate with so much shinga. I'm going to say it. I almost said it. You're going to pile your plate with so much stuff that you shouldn't have, and you're just piling it up just to hurry up and get through the meal and to eat and to just eat whatever is just in front of you, and it's not really home style eating. It's or home style eating is another one you don't want to do, where you go to the restaurant and they bring you these big bowls of food, potatoes, gravy, pastas, and all this stuff. They bring you all these big bowls of stuff, and then you just have it sitting in front of you, and you just keep eating from it, right? You keep taking more and more, and you want to really be careful there. Just be sensible. Just be careful there. Don't like get involved in all that, just choose something else. Choose a place where you go. They bring you your portion size, they bring you your food, and you don't have to sit there and look at food in front of you. You don't have to, be enticed to want to have more and more and more just because you're bored or because you're sitting there in conversation with someone else. You know, Try not to get yourself into that mix. Try not to get yourself into that situation. That's what I would say. So then you want to make only one plate of food that is sensible, one serving. So you have to be really good choosers. You have to be able to go in your kitchen, and when the meal is made, either you what I like to do is I put things on the counter, because we used to put it all on the table too, just like how we grew up, right? We'd have the rolls with the towel on them, and you kept warm, and the butter, and the mashed potatoes, the gravy, the beans, all this stuff, all sitting in front of you, right? We don't do that anymore. So what we do is we put it all on the counter by the stove there. We put it all on the counter, and some of it could still be on the stove. We go up there and we take our plate. We make our own plate, one serving each. We sit down, and that's what we do. We don't sit around with that food sitting in front of you, right? And then soon as everybody is done with their one plate, I get up and I start wrapping it. Every once in a while, my husband is saying, well, I'd like a second of that, So I have to kind of be cautious on that, because he is hardworking and always working, and just, a busy guy. And so he burns more calories than me. Before I first started my diet, I was eating just as much as him. I didn't care. I did just ate whatever I wanted to, right? I was eating just as many calories as he was in a day. And I don't do that anymore. I am way, way better than what he's doing. So anyway, so then don't think food of fun, and that it's something to do. Think of it as fuel to feed your body and to give you energy, right? So a lot of times, we have family members that love to go out to eat, and it's almost like it helps us get together and to reconnect, but also it shouldn't just be around like, let's just go to eat. You want to try to base your food around, let's go bowling, or let's go and take a walk, or let's meet at the beach and just have a picnic, and just some veggies and some healthy stuff, and let's do things differently, mix it up a lot, mix it up to where you're um you're not considering it just that's all the fun you're having is food. Food isn't for fun. Food isn't like something that's going to like soothe you emotionally. It had before for me, but until you do a lot of the work, you will get out of that feeling of having to replace your emotions with food. So you'll want to make sure that you go through my program, and you really get a whole sense of what's really going on inside you, to be able to not overeat. Because a lot of people, what they do, they don't do the hard work inside, like a program or something. They just go on a diet, and then a few months later they pick it all back up again, because they don't go through the emotional part of figuring out why you're overeating, why you're behaving that way, why you haven't changed your habits, why. There's just so many questions. And so everybody needs fuel for energy. And, you would do much better fueling yourself with a little bit more protein, a little bit more vegetables than you will with sugary stuff, right? Sugary things. So you want to, think about that. So moving on to number 5, don't leave food sit out on your counters and make it available for people to pick at. Food for all day long or whatever. Don't leave like a lot of different things like baked goods and a lot of different things out over your counter all the time. It is especially if it's hard for you to back away. Like my husband was buying the cinnamon roll every week, and he was eating on that every morning before he'd leave for work. Real high sugar. Wonder why he crashes when he gets home. So he was doing that, and he was just leaving it out there. Well, I had good control because I had to get my health back in check, and I couldn't touch it, and I knew that. And so it was fine, for many months it went on, and finally I just like, this is enough of leaving this stuff all out, because it's really hard to break your sugar habit. I had a really hard time breaking mine after the holidays because even though things were sugar free, if you get used to eating a lot of sugar, even sugar free stuff, you still crave the sugar free, right? The sugar is sugar. It's always going to be sugar. And so no matter where it comes from, it's still a sugar. And when you're used to eating a lot of sweet things like that, it really is hard to break the cycle. So now that Christmas is gone and I've broken my cycle, it's like now that Christmas is over, all the sweets are put away, everything is gone from here. We're not going to be leaving stuff out like this, because I'm just getting over my sugar fun for Christmas and that. And I don't want the temptation and I don't want to look at it. And then I'll think, oh, well, I can make a healthier version. And then I'll want to make me one. And it just goes on. You know what I mean? You have to be strong with yourself. You have to cut it. You have to tell yourself no every single day. Tell yourself no, no, no. I'm not having that. If I want something and I feel hungry, when I get hungry, I get a headache. So I know right away that, hey, I gotta have something, so I will, find something healthier. Okay, I'll find some healthy carrots, or I'll find a healthy snack, or whatever have you. So find something that you have made up already that you can be your go-to. You can go to it to get some nourishment, but you don't have to go for the cinnamon roll. You don't have to go for, things like that. All the sweets in the house. Let's see. So wrap up breads and keep it in the refrigerator. We keep all of our bread in the refrigerator, at least the second day. When it comes home from the store, we leave it out the first day. We put it in the freezer the second day. And then to keep it longer. And then freeze cookies and snacks. I mentioned that earlier. So do that. Get it out of there. Then when you want something, it's like, and that the sugar and the snack things that you've made, that you pre-wrapped and put in the freezer, already that they're healthy. They're sugar-free, mark them sugar-free. So that you can go there and you can have something to choose from, But I would much rather see you choose 2 pieces of chocolate instead of baked goods. So I have learned this trick and it has helped me. So it has to be 70% chocolate or more, unsweetened, dark chocolate, and you could have 2 squares of that in there. So sometimes in the evening, it's like, man, I would really like to have something and I don't know what, and I shouldn't, but I want something. And I have done that and it really satisfied me. And it's like, that's good enough. And chocolate is good for your heart. So it's really a win-win. So then number 6 is avoid sugary drinks, coffee, creamers, and pop. I just had a phone conversation. I was telling you about the Pepsi thing. Oh my God. And then so I said, so what else do you drink? It's like, well, I drink this latte sweetened, coffee, and I love it. And I love the place. And I just, the whole thing, and I said, oh boy, this really tells a story. And you got to just, and I try to not tell them what to do, but like Just maybe you could make some other choices, put something else in place, try a tea with maybe a plant-based milk, something like that. And yeah, so you want to watch what you're drinking, because you can get so many calories from the things that you're drinking. I was just at the store and I was reading about heart health this weekend, and pomegranates are really good. So it helps. Pomegranates actually help you. This is what I was reading, and I don't remember the source, and I'm sorry for that. I didn't write it down. It's just something I was reading. So for you all out there, it's hearsay, okay? But this is what I read. All right. I don't know if it's true or not, and I'm just guesstimating it is. It was from a doctor, from a clinic, from a doctor. But anyway, they were saying that a pomegranate can actually help you clean your arteries and your veins and stuff. I don't know the scientific term or whatever, but they were saying something about it was good for you. So I was reading all these different juices at the store. They had one that was cranberry and pomegranate, and I was like, oh, that would be really good, and it had like 26 grams of sugar. It's like, I can't do that. I just can't do that. So what I'll have to do is somehow make my own, somehow buy my own pomegranates and squeeze them and make my own, right? Little juice, that's the only way it's going to work for me, because I cannot have like extra sugar added to it, and all that. So even so, it's still, all those fruit juices are really high in sugar without the added sugar, right? So you have to make sure that you are having less of a serving. You can have pretty much what you want, but just like not overdo it, and like have little portions of things, um it works really good. So then let's go. So stick with water. Water is really great. Water really helps to clean out all the toxins. It helps you to, you need water in your body. Your body is mostly made up of water. You need that water for everything to work and to function right. So you want to make sure that you are drinking a lot of water. Watch the color of your urine when you go to the bathroom. If it's yellow, you are dehydrated. You need to be drinking water to where the stool, when you do your urine, it looks, almost clear. I mean, it's a pink, it's a yellowish color, but it's not like, it's diluted. Okay. It's diluted. So, but you need a lot of water, so stick with that, or maybe a diet soda. If you're used to drinking regular pop, maybe you could switch to a diet soda, and then just have 1 can a day, just because there's so much sodium in it. Make sure that you're watching that as well, and just cut back a little bit. Or you could have some sugar-free drinks. What I found was really helpful to me. I don't hardly drink them anymore, but the Crystal Light little packets that you can just pour in a glass or pour in a water bottle, and they're the powdered thing, and they're sugar free, and you can get a ton of different flavors. You can get lemon and pink lemonade, and you can get, I think there's a cherry, and there's a fruit punch. The fruit punch is really good. And there might be a couple. I think maybe there's a grape. I don't know. There's a bunch of different ones, but that is really great. You're switching things around. You're switching things out, and you're taking charge. You're like changing things, and it's so exciting to me. Change is exciting. I love change. I love change. I love to try different things, do different things, go different places. I love it. And then avoid fruit juices. They are high in calorie and sugar. Well, we got off on a tangent talking about them. So we already talked about them. So that's it, you guys. And there you have it. And so we are going to move on to making some carrot fritters. Okay. Okay, ladies. So we are going to get started on our fritters. I want to give you guys as much. Okay. We're going to get started on our carrot fritters. So hopefully you guys can see me okay and hear me. Make sure that you can give me the like in the comment, add a comment, and make sure you subscribe to this channel. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to go ahead and mix our wet ingredients first, which we only have. Well, we're just going to mix it in. Let's do our eggs first. We're going to do our eggs first. So the recipe calls for 2 eggs. And then I'm going to grab a fork and we're just going to get these moved around a little bit. I'm going to stir this up a little bit. Then it can get dispersed in the recipe a lot better if it's mixed. Okay. I'll set that here for now. Okay, and then we are going to put in, I think we'll put in our carrots. So we're going to put in our carrots. This is 1.5 cups of shredded carrot. That's what I have here. Okay. And then let's get this mixed around a little bit. Carrot gets liquefied there. Coated. Then we're going to add in our seasoning. So we have 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So we're going to pour that in. And then I have 1 teaspoon of rosemary. I love rosemary. The spice rosemary. It is delicious and it's great for your memory. We are going to put in 1 cup of flour. So what I have here is I have, I thought I'd give it a little more flavor. So I have a 1/2 cup of coconut flour and I have a 1/2 cup of chickpea flour. So it makes 1 cup. So that's what we have here is 1 cup of flour. I'm going to stir that in and then I'll put the rest. Oh, it smells wonderful with that coconut in there. These are going to be fantastic. I can already tell. These are going to be fantastic. Just coating the carrot. Just stir it until you get it all coated. My gosh, this smells so good. We got a little bit more flour to add in here. So we're going to add that now. The rest of the flour. Okay. Let's see if we can get it all mixed up. Or if we have to use a little plant-based milk. Seems a little dry to me. So we're going to use just a little bit of coconut milk. That's also going to add some little creaminess and flavor to it. Been sitting in the fridge a little bit, so. Just kind of a drizzle, just to give it a little moisture. Get it all incorporated. Still see some little coconut milk there. So getting it incorporated. Okay, I think it's going to be a really good, almost like a dough. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to just start making some little patties. We could do it with a, if we want it all uniform, we can make it with a, excuse me, we could do it with a cookie scoop, but I don't know if I have my large one here or my little medium one. I think I only have, I think it's back in my bakery. I didn't bring it up. I only have the tiny one here. Well, I have this one. That one's still small too. I don't have one that would work for this size. So we're just going to do our best to try to make them the same size. The thing about using a scoop, a cookie scoop, is that you get it all uniform. They're all about the same size, you know? So maybe this is better for me to be over here. So we're just going to make some balls, kind of get it incorporated. And we're going to press them flat, but I think we want them bigger than that. Press it together so they stay together. How lovely. Okay, we're just going to put them on. I don't think they're going to rise very much, so we could probably do three wide would be fine on here. I hope we have enough room with just this one cookie sheet. I'll have to get another one. Well, that didn't take long at all. The main thing is just, the hardest part is just getting all your ingredients measured out first, and just take your time, get your ingredients measured out, and then just have fun with it. Enjoy it. Enjoy the process. You'll love your food so much more when you're making it yourself and you're enjoying the process of it. Instead of buying food that's not good for anybody, really. So some are a little bit bigger and some are they're not exactly uniform, but it's okay. We don't have to be perfect, right? We just have to be delicious. We don't have to be perfect on this channel, but it has to be delicious. When I first started my diet plan, I ate a lot of carrot. I make this wonderful carrot chutney, and it is so delicious. And I was eating it with almost every meal, and it really satisfied me for a long period of time. And that's what I like. I like to find foods that are healthy. Something went flying outside. It's a little windy today. I have the door open. Sorry about that, you guys. It scared me too. What the heck's going on? Probably a snow shovel fell over. Hope we don't need that again. We just got blizzard the other night. It's all gone, and it's 63 degrees. I can't wait to get outside. Yep. I got up really early this morning. Got to talk to my coach really early. He's from the UK. And learn so much when you have a coach. You learn so much. Somebody that can get you out of your own head and where you need to be, right? Get you out of your own head and get you on the right path, doing the right things, and having the right results. That's what coaches are for. Helping you get there. Okay, let's see how many more we're going to get. Probably just going to be me and my husband tonight, so we don't need very many. And I found this recipe online somewhere, and I write it down, and then I change it to what I can have. I change it to meet my needs. So if you guys, need to lose weight and you need to follow along, that is wonderful. Thank you so much for the new subscribers. I appreciate you guys. Made me so happy. I just really am trying to bring you the best stuff I can bring you and teach you guys how to start living a different lifestyle and start, really getting into it and, changing your life around, changing your health around. It's a lot of fun. It really is. Once you get into it, it can be so much fun. And dieting should not be drab. You shouldn't have to give up every single thing that you love. It should be fun. I want my program to be fun. I kid around and I joke from time to time, and I'm just, that's how I am. I can't flub it, I mean, you are what you are, right? And I just love, I love laughing. I love comedy. I love, taking it light, taking it slow, taking it easy, and just doing the best you can at whatever you do, right? We just want to be our best and do our best. I have my oven already going. So then you have to cook these 15 to 20 minutes on one side. And then we're going to, and I'm baking these. I'm not putting it on the stove with a bunch of oil, okay? Which you could have olive oil. You could have avocado oil, but you don't want to be using like vegetable oil and tons of just grease and slopping around. That is not healthy. We are growing out of all of that. We are learning the new way to eat, right? So I'm going to wash my hands. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop these in the oven. So that way, by the time this video is over, I can at least show you the finished product. Okay. So I'm going to wash my hands. That sunshine looks wonderful. Wonderful. Yes, it does. Okay. I'm going to pop these in the oven. I'm going to put our dishes away, and we are going to move on to the next section. Let me put these in the oven so that way we can put our timer on. Okay, I'm going to put the timer on for 15 minutes, and then we're going to check them, okay? So I love this little timer. It has lasted me a long time. So we're going to put 15 minutes. Then we're going to check them. We're going to put all this stuff away for washing. All right. We'll get rid of this. And we'll put this back away. And then I'll do the flowers in a little bit. right, you guys, and I'll wipe this all up in a little bit. All right, so I want to talk to you guys about the mini me course. So I just put it on my website yesterday. Now I'm not positive it's working, but you can try it and see if it's working. And if for some reason it's not, you can email me at talent2profits60@yahoo.com. If you pay for it and for some reason you're not getting the videos or you're not getting the file or whatever, you can email me and then I'll put them in the email and I will send you the videos. But I believe it should be working. So what the mini me course is about is it's for people who are wanting to lose weight. They're way overweight. They're wanting to lose weight. They're wanting to start something, but they don't know what. They're wanting to get started. They don't have the motivation. They don't have the know-how. They don't know where to start. They're overwhelmed and they don't know what to eat. They don't know what to buy anymore. And they're totally confused. So this program, this mini me course is to get them started, get you guys started on something. Just do something, right? And a lot of times some people don't have the income or the money to like invest in a really large program and that can run a whole year. Sometimes people don't or can't or won't get involved in that, get committed to that for their health. And why, I don't know, but it could be, that you just want something that kind of gives you some good tips and some good guidelines. That's what this is. So it comes with 5 videos. You're supposed to watch one each day, say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, watch one each day. Or you can skip days if you're still working on day one. You work at your own time zone. You work at your own pace. So you purchase it and then that's it. You don't have my coaching or anything along with it. You just have that file and you have 5 videos that go along with it. And each one of the days has different things to think about. It has different little exercises for you to like really focus on. And it can help you to get a start, find out where to start, and learn all of this. And so it's just part of my program. And I just took the most, the good bits and pieces out of my program and put it into this little compact, little mini course because I talked to so many people and they're like, I just want to get started, but I don't know where to start. I just want to get started, but I can't afford it. I just want to get started, but it's not the right time, So this will actually get you started in the right direction. Excuse me for that. And it will get your head in the game. And that's what we want to do. Sometimes that may be all it takes for you. Maybe you're only 25 pounds overweight. Maybe you don't have that much to go, but you don't know where to start and you don't know how to get started and you don't know what to do. So this little mini course, mini me, So, but yeah, I thought it was a really nice suggestion to start off with something small that would be good for a lot of people. So the mini me course is going for $79 for the course. So you can go there and pay for it on my website. And my website is www.program4u.com. Oh, no. www.programschool4u.com. Sorry about that. So you can go there and you can pay for it. And it's in the on the top header of my website. You'll go to more, and then you'll have to scroll down or it won't light up. So you have to scroll down on there, and then it goes to shop. I believe you go to shop, and then you should find it. You have to scroll down to the bottom of the page. And I'm still building out my website, so it's not perfect yet. We're still working on it. It has a ways to go. It has some improvements to be made, some colors and pictures to be changed. So you might go to sections of my website that is not totally complete, but we're working on it. So, but I still have that up and going, and where you can you can purchase that mini me course, which may be helpful to a lot of you. And I also have on there where I have free prayers that you can go on there, and that's in the resource section. You go to more and then scroll down to resources, and it will be in there. So resources I have in there, and also recipes. So you can go there and you can purchase a number of recipes, and I'm going to constantly keep adding to those recipes. So like some of the dishes on here that I make, I'm going to go there and put them in there. So it's a yearly fee, and you can go there and do that, and then you will get all the recipes, but I am still adding to it. So yeah, so it's going really good, and so I'm really thrilled with that. But the videos are just me and just talking about different things that helped me. So I know they'll help you, and they really did work for me, and it's a lot of really good information, lots of good tips and things like that. There's no recipes in there, because you can go to the website at the resource center there, and you can find where you can just get the recipes. So there's no sense of me just putting them out there. So you can go there, and then as I add to the recipes, you will have them there. So yeah, so I'm excited about that, and I think that if you're lost and you are overwhelmed like I was, and you're nervous, you're scared, like, what am I eating wrong, and what should I be doing, and what can I do differently, and all this, and how can I like slow down my eating and different things like that, then this is a great start for you. And then maybe later on you're like, well, I'd like to have your coaching because I need further assistance. I need longer term, I need more, so then and then you can reach out to me. You can book a call on my website. You can do that. You can go there and even just read about me and read about my story, right? You can go there and do that. And so yeah, so I'm pretty happy with it. The website so far, at least, it seems to be workable. And the main thing is that it's functioning, and we will just keep making it better and better for you guys. We'll keep trying to give you tons of different resources, tons of things that can help you along. And so yeah, so I try to make my videos a little impactful, and so that way you guys can really get a good sense of where to start and what to do, because it's not always easy to find that. I know when I first started my weight loss journey, I was scared because my blood pressure was so high. I was really scared, and I starved for 3 days. I just drank liquids. It was like, I don't know what to eat, and I'm afraid to eat the wrong thing, so I'm just going to eat nothing. Well, I did that for 3 days, and I'm like, wow, this isn't sustainable. I can't do this, And so then I started to like add some egg, and then I started to add some, just different things, And here I am mostly plant-based, but I still do eat other meats, and I eat chicken, and I eat fish, and I do eat eggs and stuff. So the only thing that I really don't eat too much of is red meat, and I don't eat pork too much. Last time I had pork, it was really hard for me to eat, and I just gave it to my husband. I was like, I can't do this. And I've never been a big meat eater, so that part was easy for me. So the other thing that I do is have dairy, because I can't have which I mentioned earlier, that I can't have the milk products of plant-based. I have to find one that will work for me. And I've been to a bunch of different stores, and every single time I go to pick one up, it has, sunflower seeds or sunflower lithium, or I'm not even sure if I'm saying that word right. Sunflower lithium, something like that. That's how it's spelled. But so yeah, or it'll have cottonseed, or it'll have something else that I can't have, and it's just like, when you're allergic to so many different foods, it's really hard. It's really hard to create things, right? I mean, I would love to have like a big pot of sauerkraut with carrots and maybe a little red potato and something like that. But I can't, and I'd love to make sauerkraut. My dad made sauerkraut every year and would can it. We made sauerkraut all the time when I was a kid. And it is really good for you. It's really good for your gut bacteria. But, I can't do it, and Brussels sprouts. I have a recipe that we're going to be making this week, Brussels sprouts, because my husband has been so hungry for Brussels sprouts. I can't have them, but he can have them, and I'm just going to make them so he can have them. Okay, so we're going to be doing that, but it's not like I'm going to be eating them, but I would like to make them for him because I know he's bought them like several times now. They're in the freezer stacking up, and he's like, when are we going to have those Brussels sprouts? I was like, we will soon, So, but yeah, so I try to do the best that I can, and I try to work with the ingredients that work for me. So you probably, like I said earlier, you won't be seeing me, choose a lot of other healthier foods because I can't have them. So I try to make things that are, I don't want to make things and throw them away. I want to make things that we can actually eat. We're paying for it, and make things that we can eat. That's real life. You know what I mean? I'm not just making this to be a show. Like, we're going to have these carrot fritters for dinner tonight. We're having salmon and we're having these carrot fritters and maybe a little side salad. So, so that's my story. That's what it is, and I'm trying to be as real as I can because this is it, this is the real deal, and I'm not trying to, tell anybody else what to eat. I'm just telling you on here, what I do in my story the best that I can. And that's the way that is. We have about 2 more minutes and we're going to flip those things. And then I am going to wait for them again. And then we're going to show you guys, and you are going to just like, oh, I'm sure they're going to look really good. So they may have to go another 5 minutes because it's either 15 or 20 minutes on one side. So we're going to see how they look. If they need to go another 5 minutes on that side, they're not starting to brown or starting to do anything, we'll let them go that extra 5 minutes. Okay. So we are going to do this. Look how delicious they look. Oh, they smell wonderful. These are going to be fantastic. So I'll put the recipe in the description and make sure you go there and try them out. Okay. Talk to you guys real soon. Then and like and subscribe and go check out my mini me course on my website. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.